Hello everybody and welcome to episode 21 of Minecraft. In the last one we did some branch mining, we talked about the Dallas Cowboys and football and stuff like that, and I'm going to continue that discussion because But anyway, like I was saying in the last episode before it ended, I think the Packers just made a few brilliant plays down the stretch. I mean, that pass to Cook that Rodgers threw to Cook was insane. I mean, I was watching that live. I was watching that sitting down. I'm like, holy cow, that's insane. It takes, and when you lose by those plays, it's tough because you know you had enough to win the game. It's just the other team, made a fantastic, and that's honestly what ends up deciding the games between two equal teams like that is insane plays, and that's what ended up deciding that game. That and again, Mason Crosby hitting those two field goals, which is incredible. And I think kind of goes under the radar a little bit, which is, he's a kicker, so it's it's not a secret that they're kind of underappreciated at times. I've never gotten that way. People say, "Oh, football players aren't, kickers aren't football players." Blah. You know how many, that kickers are honestly, like one of the most important positions to have on the field. If you don't have a good kicker, it really sets you back. Like, again, I'll use the Purdue example because that's something I go to the games all the time. Like when Purdue had Carson Wiggs, a guy, if you don't know, you can just Google him or whatever. He hit 70-yarders in practice. So basically every time you cross, even in games, anytime you cross the 50, 30, 40-yard line, you knew you had points. So, you were more willing to do stuff, But when you have to, get to the 20-yard or 10-yard line before you have guaranteed points, it just creates a new problem. I think, having a good kicker is one of the most essential things, and that's why I've never gotten that stupid argument. But anyway, back to what I was saying. About the Packers, that pass to Cook was insane. I mean, that's a one in a million play, and that's what it took to beat the Cowboys. So they have nothing they should be ashamed of. Like these people that are sitting there saying their season's a failure are just, like Stephen A. Smith, I think, is full of it. You cannot tell me that the Cowboys season was not a failure because flat out, look what happened last year when Romo went down. They won they were like what, like 3 games or something like that. I don't even think they won a game after Romo went down. Well, that's the point. The point is that I do not consider that a bad season. When your starting quarterback comes up and your future pretty much takes the wheel and says, "Okay, guys, let's go to the playoffs. Let's be the number 1 seed. Let's put on some amazing performances." I think you look at that and say, "Okay, that's unexpected." That's why I think the playoffs happened is because. That's why what happened to them in the playoffs is not that big a deal because you look at it and you say, well, that may have been our first crack at it. That's our first crack, not our last. I highly doubt the Cowboys. Let's put it this way. I highly expect the Cowboys to be back and in the playoffs every single year for a while because of that team and how they're set up to play. I mean, you look at that team and you don't see one guy on there that you could say, okay, this guy's, And the thing is, if they do get rid of the cap hit that Tony Romo takes, is that they can build that team to win, and win now, because LA, you're going to have to eventually re-sign Dak and Zeke. But the point of the matter is, that's not right now. They're still under their rookie contract, so they're not making that much. So, honestly, they should just get rid of Romo. I mean, and that's not any offense to him. He's a really good quarterback, and I think there's places where he could go and be very successful. But the point is that you don't need, if you're going to try to win a Super Bowl, you need to get that cap hit off you, because you need to invest that into your defense. Because really, if you look at it, that is the Cowboys' one weakness, is their defense and their defensive secondary. I mean, again, I'm a Purdue fan, but I'm going to rip on him. Anthony Brown's not that great. I mean, he's a good player, don't get me wrong. But he really, he's still a rookie. He needs time to develop before he's starting in the playoffs. I don't know why I keep opening that chest. Probably because I'm looking for something. Oh yeah, pickaxes. But he needs time to develop before he plays. He was, that was a guy that was very fast but there was lapses in his judgment, and I always accredited that to immaturity. He just needed time to get better. And I think he still needs time to get better. And I think, being able to work out in an NFL facility and stuff will help him. But the fact of the matter is, he should not. He's not ready to play in a playoff game yet. He's a good player. Again, I saw him play for 4 years at Purdue, which you can put numbers like he did. There was times where he'd just have mental lapses and stuff like that, but that's okay. That's kind of the point of college football, is to learn how to play the game on a more advanced level. That's what people forget sometimes. That's why I like it. You get to see that. In the NFL, sometimes it's just too many focused on college. You should be allowed to make mistakes, because that means you're learning how to play the game more effectively. And isn't that really the goal of college football, is to teach these kids not only how to play the game, not only get them drafted, but how to play the game effectively, and also the main goal should be focused on studying. So, which a lot of them, Anyway, it's beyond the point. I think the Cowboys defense just needs some work. And I think if you go out and get somebody, and I don't know who's out there right now, but that, or you can trade Romo for somebody that's worth something. I bet there's a lot of teams. Like, I'm trying to think of it. Who has lockdown corners? Rivas is probably wants to play for the Jets for the rest of his career. But you could probably find a young and up and coming corner that, or that, or I really don't think that it. You could go out there and get somebody. That's what I'm saying, basically, is that you can go out, use Tony Romo as a piece, and say, okay, who wants to give us some defensive backs? And I think once they get that situation, they won't be able to give up 31 points to the Packers. I would even say go out and get a guy like, like I mentioned, Ricardo Allen or somebody like that. But, somebody who's still young that you can, not take that big of a hit with. Because you want to use that money to build. And the cap hit, so. And again, I bet there's a lot of teams that would want Tony Romo, so that will not be an issue. I don't say cut him, trade him, obviously, so you can get something out of it. Like, I bet you could probably deal with somebody that, there's teams out there. You can get a gun guy that got traded from Buffalo. Send him to Cleveland for what's his name? That guy that Belichick traded, like Collins, maybe something like that. That'd be funny. Well, I mean, that'd be a good pickup for them. They need a middle linebacker. They kind they need defensive players like that, and to bring in a guy like to bring in Collins, and also, it'd be a nice thing to have that ability to jump over offensive linemen and block field goals, which I think like people complain about that, but I'm like, hey, if he doesn't touch anybody, it shouldn't be. It should be allowed. I mean, sure, it feels cheap at sometimes, but football is a game of being cheap at times. You have to expand the rule book and look at stuff to win. I mean, you're not going to just win by being vanilla. I mean, how many times have you seen a team just win by running half-back dives every play? I mean, that doesn't happen. Well, maybe it's happened once, back in the old days, but nowadays it's just not how it works. You have to do something, you find that wrinkle that makes it, it keeps you different from the other teams. So, and I think the Cowboys have that, and Zeke, the way he can just go into a crowd and emerge and just run downfield in no time. I mean, I saw that when I was watching that game against Alabama back in the day. It was like 2 years ago. Well, the Alabama game in which, everybody kind of started locking on. I mean, everybody obviously knew who he was beforehand, but that was the game where I think he exploded. And I think everybody's like, oh, this guy's really good. I had seen it firsthand a few times, or I had seen it, once or twice, or before, because I'm a Big Ten fan, so I had seen Elliott and had seen that ability. And I think the thing about it is that I always looked at that and said, that's NFL talent. He can pretty much get in one of the dog pile and come out and just get full speed almost instantly and just be gone. And it's like, what just happened? Yeah, to our friends in Bloomington one time. I remember watching that game too. That Ohio State IU game, and just, I think it was 2015, yeah. But that game, Zeke pretty much won ball by himself. I mean, I was really impressed with in Indiana that game, because they were playing a lot of injuries, and they were still going toe-to-toe with Ohio State, which at the time was, I think they were number 1 or number 2 in the country. I think they were number 1 still, because the college football playoff rankings hadn't come out. They were still undefeated. Remember, they didn't lose until that Michigan State game. I think Ohio State got in the playoff this year, based on what happened last year where they were left out. But you could very, very easily make an argument they were better than Michigan State. Just some things happened in that Michigan State game that, again, happens sometimes. You get some of those fantastic things like Elliott wasn't doing well. But when they played Notre Dame, which maybe should have been a foreshadowing moment into how Notre Dame football was going to collapse, which, now that you look at it, what is it, F3A? There we go. Maybe that should have been oh crap, I've got to start the timer. We'll go ahead and give it 16 minutes. We'll just go 16. If it's all over, it's fine. I'm not too concerned about it. As long as they're having fun. But anyway, I was really impressed with that game. But at the same point, what really broke that game open was Elliott. The fact that Zeke in that game just had one or two of those runs that he just gets the ball and he's gone. It seems like, that was the game breaker. That was what won the game for Ohio State, and I think that's, I looked at that day, and again, it was one of those things where you're like, okay, this guy's going to be something special, as long as he stays out of trouble. Apparently Manziel's done with partying too, we found out over the weekend. I think maybe he got his head screwed on right and said, look, I have a fantastic skill here. I can play football better than a lot of people, and I'm just wasting the prime years of my life partying instead. You have all your life to party after you get done with football. It's not like you're going to be it's not like anybody's going to care if you're 40 years old when you're an NFL football player that has been responsible with his life. Problem is that with it's just some of these kids just believe all in the moment, and it's like you can party and stuff when you retire. Again, or just don't let it affect. You can party still, just go a little light on it. Don't do it during the season. Like Gronkowski does that stuff. He has a lot of parties and stuff. The point is he doesn't let it affect his playing, which is something, again, a lot of young college and young NFL players have an issue with. They let that stuff kind of affect them, and they can't let that affect their professional careers, because that's their livelihood they're basically throwing away by doing that kind of stuff. When they're missing meetings and stuff because they're out partying, that's kind of ridiculous. In the off season or whatever, when there's nothing going on, who cares? As long as they're not injuring themselves for the season, which has happened a few times, but that's another point entirely. What else is on the agenda? I'm trying to lie. I'm learning how to cut my hair better. I'll show you. I'll do a thing when I do the college football stuff. I'll show it off. But I basically got trimmer or clippers for Christmas, so I've been using those, and the first time I did it, I severely messed up. We'll put it that way. Mistakes were made, as Homer Simpson would famously say. That's obviously before him, but I remember in The Simpsons Hit and Run, he'd always yell that. But anyway, mistakes were made, let's put it that way. I got my mom to fix it up a little bit, look a little nicer. So it made it look like I wasn't like some loser. We'll put it that way. But yeah, after that, but anyway, I think this time I did a pretty good job. I probably have to have my mom trim it up again, like get the sides and stuff, because I do not want to repeat of last time where because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to trim up the sides, and some stuff happened. On the top it was fine. Like on my top of my head and on the sides it was fine. It was just, the hairline just looked like some little kid had gone through and was trying to draw like I shouldn't say kid, but my face looked kind of, it kind of looked like like the part like above my ears was completely gone, because I didn't realize that was an actual hairline thing, so it looked really bad. Another thing is that it kind of, so there's parts in the back of my head that look like somebody had been trying to draw a sine function graph, if you know what those look like. you know. Basically, that's about the only word I can use to describe it. It was that bad. At least I didn't make it into a tangent. That'd have been bad. I mean, it did look bad, but, I'm okay with it. It was an accident, and I learned from it. I would definitely say, I learned to just let somebody else take care of that part, And, even if having my mom or somebody else do it that I, can see back there, it just is a lot better. Because that's a problem. When you're doing that, you really can't see, and it just makes it so you screw it up a lot easier. And what else? College football's over. Clemson won the national championship. I think I discussed that already. College basketball's had it going on right now. At the current moment, we got some good play going on. I watched some games on Saturday. I watched the UCLA game, a little bit of the UCLA game. I fall asleep. I guess this is a new topic. I have this thing where if I wake up at 6:15 every morning, I'm fine. I'm energized. I'm ready to go. Like the other day, that's why I was so tired and recording is I had gotten up or I'd woken up at like 9 o'clock, and that does not bode well for me. For whatever reason, when I wake up after like 9, I just feel groggy the rest of the day. Like my body just does not want to do anything. And it's okay on weekends if I'm like that. But what it means is even like when I work at like 2 today, I need to be up and moving at 6:15, so I'm not trying to fall asleep. Which is, I'll be okay. We'll get through it. No, in all honesty, I mean, it's not that big a deal. I mean, like, it's on weekends I usually make up for the sleep I lose. But at the same point, it's one of those things where I need to make sure on weekdays that I'm getting up early. That way it can be alert. It just seems to make me more alert and focused. And, I sleep better too. Which is obviously because I'm a little more tired. But at the same point, I get right to sleep. On weekends, sometimes when I sleep until 9, 10 in the morning, I don't take my medicines until then. And, I take my ADHD medicine, and what happens? It keeps me up, and I can't fall asleep that easily because it's still there's too much of it in my body still. And anything about ADHD medicine, it's basically it's basically like I wouldn't sell it. It's basically a drug it's basically like your caffeines and stuff like that. Basically, it's like if you took a bunch of caffeine. So when I do that before I go to sleep. It doesn't really have the effect on me as, it makes me all amped up and going. It just keeps me calm because it kind of has the opposite effect. But the problem is it does have the effect where it'll keep me up if I, take it too late in the day. So I have to make sure I take it early in the morning. That way, it's, doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, what else can we talk about? Early to bed, early to rise makes a man both healthy and wise. Okay, Ben Franklin, that's why he went to bed at 2 o'clock every morning and then woke up at 6. He was early to rise, but he was not early to go to bed. Worked out for him. You really can't make fun of him because, he had a lot of money. Not joking, but you know what I'm saying. Very important. Very intelligent man. Unlike me, who has 32 levels and needs to use them on something before I die. Or, get the enchantment table going. There might be enough. The problem is I want to have enough cows where I can just, slaughter them all and then get the enchantment table. I don't know. We can see. I'll maybe kill off a few of them in the next episode or something. Yeah, I still have 7 minutes left. But I want to get this branch mining done, What else? Other topics, Minecraft and stuff. My little brothers keep spoiling a lot of that Minecraft stuff. Like they were talking about like the mansions the other day, which again, I've forgotten completely about. Like, they mentioned it. I'm like, what's that? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. They added that thing. Like, again, someday we'll have to go looking for that stuff. It's not high on my priority list because I'm not really a big fan of that kind of stuff, I guess, in a way. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I like they're doing that kind of stuff. But it's like, I'm not really one to care about that kind of stuff because I really do not go in venturing that much. My thing is more about building and, I'm more of a builder. And I kind of play the game how it was, always used to be played. Building, I don't really go exploring that much. I mean, I do every once in a while. And, eventually we'll have to do that because eventually I'll probably drain this area of everything it has, which I'm kind of sad about because this is a really good area. But, once we get moving and make this an industrial area, which is kind of how I always make my worlds, which doesn't surprise anyone that I'm a mechanical engineering technology, is my major, I guess you could call it, So, I mean, that's kind of how I like to make mine. And someday I'm going to have to really experiment with redstone and stuff. Like, don't worry, I won't keep you guys around for that whole mess because I guarantee that won't be fun to watch. And then, okay, it'll cause a lot of rage. Oh, you're not supposed to do that with the redstone. It's this, this, and this. Okay. No, but I do want to experiment with redstone a lot, get some machines set up, get some cool things going in this world. But at the same point, I need to get the storage room and stuff like that going. And also, once we get the storage room and the house, which is a house and the same thing, once we get that going, I think I'll be more comfortable with, And plus, once they get all this cobblestone and stuff like that for this, I think this is kind of a mega build. I took it on because, we've been trying it like how many times now, and it just keeps, either losing focus or something happens, or, and it's like, I've only completed this once, we'll put it that way. Yeah. And it was very effective storage room. Actually, I've completed it twice, I should say that. First time, and it's a very effective storage room, and I love the tree farm design on the top because it makes it so, you can just stick them up there and you really don't have to worry about it. And you put glass on top of them, obviously, so they don't become really big, those really big trees, but... Anyway, we're going up on the 427 mark to go in the episode. So it's been probably... I found a lot of topics to talk about, which is good, again, that's why I like playing this game. I do not ever have a loss for words, which is good. Some of the other games I play, Golf with Friends is kind of another game where I can just talk and not have to worry about things. Because if I mess up a shot, I mess up a shot. I'm playing by myself. Again, I'm probably going to try to play another thing, the regular Call. Well, I will play Call of Duty 1 again, and I will complete it. I'll just put on a shorter, easier difficulty, and we'll complete the game. It means backtracking, which I may or may not just go back to the next episode where we're at, or I might just restart. I'm guessing I'll probably restart just because that makes it easier on everyone. It makes it a lot easier. That way we don't have to sit there and try to figure out where That way we can enjoy it, and I can make the jokes and stuff that I wanted to, but we're too focused on winning to do. Stuff like that, so. That's how I kind of approach those games. I like to have fun with it. I don't like to make fun of the war, or, the killing part of it, but I like to make fun of the other stuff that happens, like, like the, oh gosh, I'm gonna run around in an old tin can, that kind of stuff, I like those kind of jokes that they put in there, make similar ones. So, yeah. And what else? I'll probably combine the training mission with episode 1 this time or with the first mission because I didn't realize how short the first mission was. Like, I can easily put those two things together and, that. But that's in the future. I'll probably end up doing that after, again, I'm going to try to play a season of Rocket League. That game's kind of fun, and I think I think there's an audience for it, definitely. I don't think it's as popular as it once was. I mean, I don't see it around YouTube much, but, I don't care. I play games I enjoy playing. I don't care how popular or unpopular they are. I'll play a good game that I enjoy playing over, something that's really popular and that people love. Like if Minecraft, everybody loved it and I hated it, I wouldn't play it. Fact of the matter is, I like Minecraft, so I play it. Like, I guess the new Call of Duties are a very good example of that. A lot of people like them, I don't. So I don't play them. really that often. Like I have some of them, but I don't really play them that often because I feel as if they're just nothing. They're not worth it. And I understand those people that do. I mean, like, I'm not saying like they don't have a right to like it. Just saying I'm just not a big fan. I just like the older games. Like Call of Duty 1, in my opinion, is a really good game. And going on the 123 mark. Here to go in the first. Man, my phone is so weird. So I took it off the charger. It was at 91 a few seconds ago. Now it's at 96. And it's like, what do you think? I don't know. Well, I took it off the charger a while ago. I did it before the first episode I recorded, which is episode 19 or 20. We're about ready to complete episode 21, which is kind of insane in its own kind of way. Sorry, I'm stretching a little bit. Oh, my back. Oh, I threw out my back. No, I didn't do that. Look at how far back this is. Insert back joke there. Chris Berman would have a field day. Back, gone. How many torches is it going to take? I think we should kind of settle down on it, though. Jeez. Yeah, that was already perfectly placed. There we go. Another one perfectly placed. Wow. Apparently I'm psychic on where to place my torches. That one isn't. Uh-oh, that's the end of the episode. Anyway, guys, this has been Tyler with episode... Shut that thing up real quick. I'll go ahead and start lining the episode off here. Anyway, guys, this has been Tyler with episode 21 of Minecraft. I hope you enjoyed it. And the next one, we'll try to do something else other than branch mine. We'll build on the storage room or kill off some cows. And I don't want to go quite to the Nether yet because I know the stronghold. I know the Nether fortress is right there, but I kind of want to hold off on that for a while until I get some. Until my focus is getting geared up, which it's not at the moment. It's basically getting some stuff built, getting some stuff operational. Then I need to get operational. Then once that happens, I'll go ahead and do that. But anyway, guys, I'll probably light this off camera since all I'm doing is placing torches. I can justify that to myself. And I just like to keeping the whole Minecraft experience here with us. And half the time the game is just the medium in which I communicate. So, it's fun. But yeah. Anyway, guys, this has been episode 21 of Minecraft. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next one. Bye.